Every night is like a daze, but oh, I feel embraced. Yes, I know I'm running late. Let's wait just one more day. I know I'm running away from moments. What am I becoming? I guess something's broken. feeling stuck, maybe out of luck. I'm falling in and out of time. I hope that you come home, please pick up the phone. I need to know if you are fine. I know I'm running away from moments. What am I becoming? I guess something's broken. I guess something's broken. Oh, every night is like a daze, but oh, I feel embraced. Yes, I know I'm running late. Let's wait just one more day. I know I'm running away from moments. What am I becoming? I guess something's broken. I guess something's broken. I guess something's broken. I guess something's broken. I guess something's broken.
In bliss, I feel my body falling peacefully. In bliss, I feel my body falling peacefully. In bliss, I feel my body falling peacefully. In bliss, I feel my body falling peacefully.
Yeah, hey, when it feels like there's an angel watching over me, and I feel like I need more of people I believe. Cause the only people I can trust is me, myself, and I am restless. And I'm so fucking reckless. Why am I so fucking reckless? I guess that I've been bested. Hopefully I can be whatever, I don't need nobody else, yeah. I can see everything, I can be anything when I'm myself, yeah. But I'm afraid when I fade I get lost, gonna find me. Now I can see it clear, you want me, rest in peace. But I don't want you anymore. You told me everything but you were wrong. In a while you see the same spot. Good luck and have fun.
In bliss, I feel my body falling peacefully. In bliss, I feel my body falling peacefully.
I'm fading away, but before I fade, I just wanna say, every time I see you, I miss you. You know I'd run 1,000 miles just to see you smile. See my reflection in your eyes, breath of the wild. This is my life, even if I hate it, it will always be mine. I'll just have to change it, though then I'll be just fine. I get used to make it, might as well try. I promise I won't fake it, baby, don't worry. I'm right here, I'm lonely, but you are my savior. It's cozy, I'm slowly falling in love with you. Falling in love, I feel free like a dove, but enough is enough, doesn't need to be tough. If I can't be above, my own thoughts are a bluff, and I feel like I'm stuck, so good luck. You know I'd run 1,000 miles just to see you smile. See see my reflection in your eyes, breath of the world. Call me up if you wanna see me, feel free, I'll be up every time you need me. So see, if you wanna be here for me, then we can be something. Call me up if you ever need assistance. If you do, I'll be there in an instant. I can fix it if you wanna listen, but for now I think I'll keep my distance.
Far as I can see, you are next to me. In this boat we made, sailing across the waves. When we reach the sea, don't give up on me. We still have a day to make our getaway. Living on the edge is the way to go. We'll drift off with the wind behind us. If you're feeling scared, I can be your rope. Pull you in, keep you safe and warm. So please don't leave, baby, don't lose hope. Put your mind at ease, it's a long way home. Cling to me on the ocean road. I could set you free, let me be your lifeboat. Let the ocean breeze bring you to your knees. When we reach the sand, you will understand. Baby, don't you see, we are all we need. Just another day to make our great escape. Baby, don't lose hope. Put your mind at ease, it's a long way home. Cling to me on the ocean road. I could set you free, let me be your lifeboat.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the third round for Season 2 of the AOR Hype Energy Oceania F1 Championship on Xbox One, powered by Elgato here at the Baku City Circuit, the land of fire here in Azerbaijan. If we thought the opening race in Australia was a good one, then last week's race was arguably even better, with Ryan passing Warden on the last lap to claim victory at the Turn 14 hairpin after Warden incredibly didn't defend. I'm Rigmaster99, and joining me in the commentary box is Matt212. And Matt, can we make it 3 races in a row where the top 2 are less than a second apart?
I certainly do hope so. Obviously, it's great to be back as well. Yeah, I think obviously with quite long straights, well, it's renowned for pretty much the one huge straight around this circuit. We could see a lot of close races today, and especially with Ryan and Warden, you know, they'll both be absolutely gunning it once again for victory. Ryan has been able to get the better of him in these first 2 rounds, but I think it's only a matter of the time before Warden, you know, finally gets that first win, and then can really pick up the momentum after that, and really obviously mount a championship challenge to Ryan. We can't afford to let him gain too many points in the early stages of the season.
Yeah, indeed. Ryan already on 50 points after winning the opening 2 races, and Warden, with the penalty in Australia and the second place last week, already 17 points adrift. But more importantly, team at Marduk, who many thought would be a championship contender fighting with Ryan and Warden, is already 30 points behind Ryan after 2 races. He's going to have to step up his game if he wants to get back in the hunt.
Yeah, he really does need a good race out here at Baku. You know, he's struggled in the first 2 rounds. Obviously, it all really went wrong at the very start of the Australian Grand Prix with that collision with DRC Jared. But yeah, I think Ben's certainly got the potential and the pace to really sort of mount a challenge towards these guys. He just, yeah, as we said, needs to get 1 clean race in, you know, preferably today. Obviously, Baku, not the easiest track in the world, but on the wheel, obviously, he should be able to be a bit more precise through, you know, especially through turn 8 and things. He should be able to, well, obviously, if he doesn't have a crash with another driver, he should be able to keep it clean. And obviously, if he could do so, if even better, he can gain a few points on Ryan and Warden, then, you know, he's certainly not out of this. We've got a long way to go in this championship, but yeah, he just needs to sort of push those first 2 rounds behind him, because really he should be fighting for wins.
Indeed he should, and hopefully for his sake he can get his season off to, his Azerbaijan Grand Prix off to a good start by qualifying well, which he hasn't done so far this season. We've got some yellow flags already in Sector 3, but HO is the first driver who is on track in the Red Bull and super soft tyres. And we've got all but 1 driver on the super soft tyres. Master Berserker's already retired from the session, and he's binned it, coming through the fast sweepers in the final sector. So that's a big blow for him, because he's very quick around this circuit.
Yeah, it certainly seems a bit of an odd, especially with that right wheel come off. I presume obviously he's hit the wall on the outside and then obviously pinged the car back to the right hand side of the circuit there. But yeah, that's certainly not ideal for him. That yellow flag that came out as well was actually the Williams, I think, of Fevolution. I think he actually damaged his front wing in the final sector there as well. But yeah, Master Berserk already out of qualifying here. You know, he's going to have a long way to go, starting down in P16 on the grid now. But it seems everyone else is still on runs. I think that's Brockdo's stuff. No, actually, I think that was just the camera angle. I thought he damaged his front wing there, but then realised that it was just the offset T-cam there. But yeah, I think everyone else is still looking good at the moment. I think Ben is coming across the line to finish off his first lap of the session, or unless he's...
HO's the first driver.
Yep.
So 41...
Paul Ben goes a second.
And the melee thing. Yep. So 40 points for... We're expecting times. What are you expecting? High 39s to be on pole position?
Top guys should, yeah, be in the really high 39s would be a pretty damn good lap round here. So yeah, I think high 39s is certainly doable if you're Warden or Ryan, but potentially Ben could get right there as well. I think we've got Ryan coming out of the final corner. Yeah.
Championship leader Ryan. The long run to the line. Let's see what he can do. A 140.4 is what he has to be, and the championship leader goes second fastest, just half a tenth off of Tim at Marduk. So looks very tight up front, at the front of the field already in his qualifying session, but we've still got another run left to go. Is Ben doing a second lap? He is doing a second lap, and he's slightly down in his first sector time, but he's continuing on with it. and to go through the castle section now. He's got some traffic ahead of him, which I think is HO. He should get out of his way if he catches up to him. And Ben is coming through turn 15 now, obviously a tricky corner to get right on this game. And Ben's middle sector time is 2 tenths up, so he's currently 2 tenths up on his time with a long run to the start finish line to go. He won't get a toe for the car in front, it's a bit too far in front, but let's see, he might be able to dip into the 39 for the good final sector. Team at Marla, let's see what he can do. And it's a 40.2, so extends his margin to 3 tenths of a second over Ryan.
Yeah, just having a look actually at Warden. He's just come out the pits, he's about to go on to his first lap, but interestingly enough, he's on a set of these soft compound tyres, not the super softs here, so it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to be able to do in that first run. I have a sneaking suspicion he'll probably fit in around Jared, obviously, if he does get the lap hooked up there. But yeah, interesting from Warden. I don't know, obviously, if he's going to go on to a set of the soft compounded tyres for his second run, but yeah, he's trying to play a little bit out the box at the moment. Perhaps he wants to try and catch Ryan off guard this race.
He's left it very late as well, only 5 minutes left in the session, so if indeed he does make a mistake on this run, he's going to find it very difficult to do another run if he can make it back to the pits in time, or I don't know what his thoughts are, but yeah, very strange to see him on a soft compound tyre.
I'm going to try and do the maths. Obviously, he's got about another minute of this lap to go. That'll take him down to about 4. Then about 2 minutes 10. No, he won't get another run in, I don't think. Or if he does, it'll be very tight and digs the wall through the castle. That was a mistake he didn't want to make. So now, really, if he wants to get another lap in on a quicker compound, he's going to have to pit the end of this lap. Obviously, if he does want to go out again, because I don't think, obviously, if he makes another lap round, I don't think he'll have enough time to go out twice. So that's very, short maths, but hopefully it's somewhat correctly. Yeah, Neon Trio gets out of the way there.
Neon getting out of the way, so a very poor middle sector with a mistake at the castle section for Warden, and it could cost him dearly. He's fortunately got some yellow flags in sector 1 and won't bother Warden as he heads towards the line now.
Is he going to pit? I don't think he is. Oh no, he might be. Yeah, he's pitting, so he is definitely... Yeah, he definitely wants to go onto a quicker compounded tyres, and he wasn't happy with that lap, and I think really, yeah, that was probably the best decision for him to make. Chimchar there. Well, he was causing the yellow flags there. He seemed to be parked in the middle of the circuit through turn 4 there. Not really too sure that was all about. Struggling for turning through these first few corners, so maybe he's struggling to get that heat in those tyres. But yeah, pretty much everyone now is in the pits. I think Funk Guru and Drop Bear are going to be the first two back out into the track, as well as Chimchar, yeah. So it's going to be quite tight towards the end of this session. Obviously, that is one of the hardest things at street tracks, especially, obviously, is finding that little bit of clean air and hoping someone in front of you doesn't bin it at the castle section. Really, is probably the best thing to hope for around here.
Yeah, you don't want to have a first lap pile up at the castle section. You know, if you're deep in the pack, or something happens and you get involved in an incident, so you want to be as high up the field as possible. And for Warden's sake, he really needs to make this final lap count. No, obviously, reference lap for him to go off of, so he's going to have one crack and one crack only at this. So personally, it was a confusing idea for me, because I would have gone out early, maybe set, if you're going to do the soft compound tyre strategy, maybe go out and set a lap on the super soft tyre in lean or something, or in a lower fuel mixture, just to make sure you can actually beat it on.
Oh, I think there was a little bit of connection struggles there with Greek, but yeah, I think, yeah, basically, yeah, what he was saying was obviously about, yeah, it seems, yeah, definitely a bit of an odd strategy from Warden, unless he just didn't, unless he just had a lot of confidence on that set of these soft tyres. But yeah, it's not, well, it's all coming down to the wire for him now, and obviously this could be a big moment in the championship. Obviously, not too common, you say that in round 3 of the season, but with Ryan, he just very rarely makes mistakes. So sorry, obviously, now Ryan, if I've commentator cursed that for you, but I'm on board with Jetson. He seems to have had a pretty damn good run around this lap. Let's see what he can do through the final sector. It seemed like a clean run on to this long flat out section through the final couple of corners there. Obviously a little bit more difficult to make on the pad, but still certainly with the high downforce of these 2017 cars, it isn't the most difficult thing in the world. Deploys the DRS, opens the DRS flap on the rear wing, and he goes up into P5 there. So a good job by him, sneaking now down into the 1 minute 40s there. So he's doing well. I think that's him. Yeah, I think that's him done in this session. Where is Warden? Warden's on his outlap at the moment. I think he's going to try and time this.
Backed off. He's backed off quite
no,
a
I
lot.
think.
I think that was like drop.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get out of the way of other cars. I think he wants to be the last one on his lap.
He's got a minute and 8 seconds to get around, and he's just gone past the castle section now, and he's gone very slow. So he's really leaving this to the last moment, Warden.
Yeah, let's have a look. I think we've got New Zealand Ryan about to go on a run. I think Ben might actually, Ben is already on a run down towards the line. Ben. I don't know if this is the start of one or not. I think he's about to start his final lap there.
Yeah, that's the start of the lap.
So he was actually a tiny bit quicker in the final sector there, which is interesting as well. You know, we could potentially see, not really with the gaps now, I was going to say, we could have potentially seen a bit of, team play strategy there between him and Ryan, but I think with 1-2 at the moment, neither of them really want to budge, because Ben desperately needs to outscore him. There's a car gone off at the end of the end of the second straight there. I think they've now retired, so that won't cause any damage there. Where is Warden on a lap now? Yes, he is. 15 seconds to go. He might be the last person on a lap. Oh, the McLaren, I think Death Row is just about going to sneak through as well. So I think, Death Row goes up into P4 there as well, and he's actually done. So, I think it's going to be Warden, the final car on a run. Fevolution just misses out.
And a good first sector from Ben as well, 2 tenths up on his previous best. So currently, it's looking good for Timo Mark. He's actually had a massive slide out of the castle section now. That could cost him a bit of time. And he heads towards turn 15 now. He wants to get this corner right. You don't want to get this one wrong. Beautiful, clips the curve beautifully as he heads towards the final.
Jared up into second as well.
Of the track. Yes, Jared up in the second. Ben's lost a couple of tenths in that middle sector.
Yeah.
So let's see what he can do now as he makes his way up towards the line.
Is he going to improve any more? Trino goes up into P2 there. Fantastic lap by him.
But Timo Mark up to the line now. He does improve. A 140.1, and Ryan behind him. How is he going? Is his sector times?
Warden's only a few seconds behind him as well.
He's actually 4 tenths up, so Ryan is about to put his Mercedes on pole position, is he? Yes, a 139.9 for New Zealand Ryan, the championship leader. Where is Warden going to place his Ferrari with 1 run? He goes on pole! Pole position for Warden. He left it to the very last second. Wow, that was incredible. 1 run at the end of the session and on pole by 0.002 of a second from his main championship rival, New Zealand Ryan. So it's Ferrari again ahead of both Mercedes, just like in real life. Leon Treatham, a great lap from him up in 4th place. Jared, Ho, Des Jetson, Drop Bear, Chimchar, Poms, Bird, Brock, Funk Guru, Fevelations, and Master Berserk failing to set a time, of course, after his crash in the final sector on his first attempt in qualifying. So, Matt, we head towards the race. What are we going to expect now? Warden on pole, and the top 3 contenders pretty much in this championship, top 3 on the grid.
Yeah, so we've got a Ferrari ahead of 2 Mercedes as well on the grid there, which is also obviously a little bit special. But I think Warden, that certainly has got to give him a huge confidence boost coming into this race. He had 1 lap to do it, 1 shot, and he's only going to put it on pole by 0.02 of a second. But yeah, I think I'm going to put Warden as my race winner today. I think. What about you?
Oh, it's so hard. Like, it's so evenly matched. But for me, I think Ryan is favourite to win this race still, despite starting second. I think he's just the faster of the drivers in the race trim. I'm not sure how they went in other legs. I know they've had other legs around here just gone. I'm not sure who won and who went well. But I guess we'll have to wait and see how they go tonight, as we just wait for everyone to ready up and we can get set for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We got 5 lights on, and it's away we go, and it's a good start from Ryan, second on the grid. He's made up a little bit of ground on Warden, but no move. Into the first corner we go. Seems pretty clean from the top 3. Further back it all seems clean. Not much carnage, and the top 3 have already pulled away from Neon Treedom, so a great start from them. We've got some carnage further back down the order. We can't quite see who it is. I think it's a Ferrari involved, but it's a good start indeed from Warden. Look at the margin the top 3 have already. It's huge as Ryan defends a little bit from his teammate Marlock. But as I said, look at the margin the top 3 have built up over Neon Treedom already, Matt.
Yeah, Neon Treedom actually had a bit of a poor start there and dive bombed his way back up into P4 there, and then after that, well, they were just 2x2 through turn 2, turn 3, and there was a huge amount of contact. I imagine quite a few drivers have lost a little bit of their front wing there, but yeah, it all seems, overall, it appears that everyone has pretty much got through there just about cleanly. Oh, there's a McLaren and a Red Bull side by side in towards turn 8 here. What's going to happen with that one? Are they going to keep it there? I think the McLaren does back out a little bit of contact for drop by there with the wall, but yeah, they've just about made it through there. I thought we were going to see a Baku pilot there on lap 1 of this race there, and all the McLarens are still fighting here. Death Row and Chimchar side by side down in towards the 3rd sector here. What's going to happen as they come down the hill, breaking as late as possible? Oh, they've both gone into the wall. Both McLarens in the wall there. That's certainly not gone well for Death Row. Unfortunately, he's completely in the wall there. And, well, McLaren will not be happy with that one between their 2 drivers there. But, yeah, that was really, really tight between the pair of them there. And poor Death Row, I feel, you know, I think it was his teammate, Chimchar there, I think, just locked up even, sorry, ever so slightly. And, well, unfortunately for him, that has really, really set him back in this race. But, yeah, Warden leads the way after lap 1 with Ryan. Oh, there's a Force India gone off. That was Treedom as locked up massively down in towards T1 there. So still even more carnage at the start of this Grand Prix as now Neon Treedom drops down to P9. I don't think he's damaged the front wing there though. So
yes, he has.
I think
he has.
Oh, he has
damaged
his front
right
wing.
End plate is damaged. So unfortunate for him and the 2 McLarens. I'm not sure what Funk Guru was thinking there into turn 15. It was a very risky move and it just didn't come off for either McLaren, with both of them suffering damage. We have some other cars with damage as well, I think, from it. Brock does stuff. His Renault is a bit damaged as Funk Guru has another look at Brock into the chicane there, but he can't make it stick. And Brock covers the inside line and we head towards the castle section, then no way through for Funk Guru. But it was just a risky move on the first lap of the race, which I don't think needed to be done. He could have slipstreamed his way past down the pitch straight, but we have a lot of cars at the moment. Jetson's also got some front wing damage. Neon Treedom, obviously, as I mentioned before, and Warden and Ryan are already pulling away from Team Marlock. They've already gapped him by well over a second.
Yeah, Ben's starting to struggle a little bit, you know, keeping up with these 2 in the early stages of this race. Quite a little bit of surprise from Ben, I think. You know, I really, really expected, obviously, him to be able to stick right with these 2, and I think if he wants to have any chance of keeping with these 2, he either needs them to battle a lot more and potentially even try to, you know, overcut them in the pits, or, you know, he might just try and close back up if they do start fighting there. But yeah, Ben really needs to put the car up into rich revs and really try and get within 1 second to stick within that DRS there. I think Funk Guru now, yeah, dives into the pit lane. Death Row has pit as well, obviously, after he lost all of his front wing, and is now on a set of the medium tyres there, so he's going to try and go nice and long in this race as well. But yeah, I think, unfortunately for him, they're just wrong place at the wrong time, and especially with his teammate, I'm sure he won't be happy with that one. But yeah, quite a few cars, as we said, with front wing damage there. Jetson, as you said, Drop Bear does... Oh, Drop Bear! Nearly runs into the wall, even more contact with the Red Bull and Chimchar. That certainly was not what he wanted down there.
The road as well at turn 3. And I don't think he's damaged it. He's damaged his wing.
Yeah, no, yeah, damage on the other side of that wing as well there. So Brock does stuff. Pretty much no front wing left on that Renault car there. And yeah, he certainly will not be happy with that one. Oh, Drop Bear and Neon Treedom nearly went side by side as Drop Bear locks up in towards turn 8 there and, well, backs out of it nice and early before, he caused any more carnage. But yeah, what a start to this race we're getting here. So many cars, making small mistakes, and so many cars as well with front wing damage there. Jetson, Chimchar, Neon, Master Berserk has actually kept his front wing clean. And then we've also got Drop Bear as well. Brock, obviously. Oh, Pons. Oh, Alex, that was incredibly close. Twice through turn 8 there. And yeah, but so many cars with front wing damage, so many cars making mistakes. People are really struggling around this Baku circuit at this early stage of the day. But most notably, Warden and Ryan are not, and they are pulling away further and further from Ben.
Indeed they are. And we also have the two McLarens as well, who have already pitted for a new front wing. So I would say at least half the field has already had front wing damage in this race. But as you said, they're pulling away from Ben. It's now up to 2 seconds. So Timo Marlak just doesn't seem to have the pace around Baku like Warden and Ryan do. Let's just have a look at some warnings. So Ryan and Warden both have no warning.
Brock's picked up a 5 second stop go.
Ooh, that's not good for Brock. But yeah, the top two have no warnings, whereas Timo Marlak already has a warning which he picked up on this lap just gone, lap 4.
Yeah, it's not really a track where you'd expect to pick up too many warnings, just trying to think around the layout, because there's not really any corners that you... Well, the only corners you can really cut have got very high curbs, so you sort of try to avoid them as best as you can there. But if anyone's going to try and go for some creative track limits, it's probably Timo Marlak here. But yeah, I'm sure I'll be surprised if anyone really gets too many penalties in this race. But yeah, talking about sort of Ryan and Warden, obviously, they're both on controllers. And a lot of people do say, albeit it is a street circuit, and usually with tracks like Monaco, you usually expect it to be a lot more favourable on the wheel. But generally from what I've been speaking to a lot of drivers, they do feel the pad has got a marginal advantage around here with just how many traction zones there are around this circuit. And obviously most of the corners being 90 degrees. Obviously the only real place where the wheel can gain a huge amount of time probably is turn 8. But yeah, I think Ben is really starting to struggle there, and obviously when the margins are so fine on raw pace between the top three, obviously especially around tracks like this, I think yeah, Ben is really struggling in the early stages of this race. But still over 20 laps to go. It is certainly far from over here in Baku, as we still, I'm going to look through, it seems everyone's, well, I think the only gap actually, the only close battle is between Death Row and Drop Bear. They're within 1 second of each other, and then Warden and Ryan are the only other two cars within 1 second.
Yeah, it's not too much of a surprise we got Warden and Ryan in the battle. I mean, these two drivers have been neck and neck all season long so far. Like I said, I don't think they've been more than a second apart all season long so far. But while we got a little bit of a lull happening, we'll just quickly bring to you guys at home some information on sign-ups, which are in the description of this YouTube video. So if you want to sign up to the league, you can click the sign-up link, which is in the description down below. And if you also want to donate to the super chat, you can, or sponsor us, you can do that, and that's located on the bottom of the chat. It should be a $sign for anyone who wants to donate. But
yeah,
back
I
to the
think
action
if you
now.
do sponsor the channel as well,
Go on.
I think if enough people do start, you can actually get a few special emotes as well, which is obviously, just separates you from the rest of the people in the chat, all the rest of the viewers. But yeah, obviously, if people are interested in that, then I'm sure Dan can bring more information as well over on the Twitter page. But yeah, Warden now has built up a 1 second gap to Ryan just behind him. So I don't know if Warden's really starting to get a little bit more pace on that car. I'm going to try and have a look actually at the fuel. Ryan has got 3 laps of spare fuel, but so does Warden actually there. So they pretty much got identical amount of fuel in this race so far. So clearly, they're both on the same page here. And obviously, as we've said before, they've generally been teammates in series. They're so ridiculously close everywhere we go. It's like, well, do you reckon it's just one of them, with 2 controllers maybe? They just run exactly the same race.
Who knows? They could be, link up their accounts or whatever, and one person races 1 week, one person the next week. Who knows between them two? But
Oh, what a
interestingly,
big mistake. Just, he completely Kimi Räikkönen dropped the throttle way too early.
I missed that for a second. I was focusing on the battle for 7th between Master Berserk and Neon Tridome, and Master Berserk has just gone past Neon Tridome up into 7th place. So on the soft compound tyre, Master Berserk making up for his mistake in qualifying, already up into 7th place, so up 9 positions from his grid start.
Yeah, fantastic job by him so far. As we said, yeah,
All
that
some
Ferrari,
yellow flags,
he
and
just
we've got
kept it
Front
clean.
Guru. Front Guru has
Guru is gone.
retired and left
Oh,
the
he's
session.
damaged the front wing again. I think that's, yeah, he's had enough. He's off
He
down
must
the
have had
pub
enough.
here in Baku
Ooh.
there. Yeah, yeah, I think unfortunately for him, damaged the front wing there. And yeah,
That's
unfortunate
unfortunate for him.
Guru just
Yeah. Involved in the incident with Brock, Death at the start.
his teammate,
And,
yeah.
Yeah. That's not going to blow up McLaren. Is it?
Yeah.
No, you don't want to
I
see
think-
teammates collide in the best of times. But especially
Yeah,
in the first
total
lap.
wolf for McLaren. There'll be certainly a few fists slammed on desks. And
Oh, there'll probably be a broken
the,
hand.
the not a best 7 lap. Probably, yeah, it's gone straight through the desk. But yeah, Warden,
Broken
he's
hand,
got a
broken
2-second gap
desk.
now over Ryan. Yeah, just everything. You get back to the garage and there'll be pieces of McLaren branded work material absolutely everywhere, broken to thousands upon thousands of pieces. But yeah, anyway, back to this race even. Warden still leads the way by just over 2 seconds now. He's started to, put a little bit of a gap over Ryan. Ben is 3 seconds back behind Ryan there, so behind his teammate. Jared is in 4th, and Jared, after he's got a bit front wing damage there, so I'm actually quite surprised he's been able to keep it so close at the early stage of this race there. So props to him, he's doing a fantastic job in that Toro Rosso at the moment. I feel Jared, in my personal opinion, is someone that we don't really talk about enough in this series. I don't think we've got too many close battles going on, but yeah, I think Jared, he's definitely 4th best. On the days he gets it right, he can really challenge the top 3. But I just feel he lacks the consistency week in, week out. Yeah, he's still certainly, in my opinion, one of the better drivers on this grid as well. But yeah, I think we'll continue looking down the field.
I agree with you, top 2 in the pits.
Oh, that's
Caught us by surprise. So,
yeah, Ben
both,
stays out one more.
Warden
Obviously, can't really afford. Oh, Jared,
and-
I was just bigging you up, man, and you've got to go a 5-second pit stop. I don't know what it is about me
Unfortunate for
this
him.
series, but
you should
this
just shut up and not
haven't
say
win.
a word, because
Oh,
every
yeah, I'll
time
just
you
mute.
start talking about a driver, they get a penalty or something happens to them. As I was about to say, yeah, Jared is probably definitely just off the top 3 in terms of pace. I would agree, 4th best is probably right. But yeah, we don't talk about him a lot, as you said, mainly because he's normally by himself. I mean, the top 3 are just a little bit too much faster than him, that he's not in their battle, and the guys behind him are a little bit slower than him, that they're not battling him. So he's kind of normally doing his own race half the time. So hopefully, fingers crossed for his sake, he can work his way up and get involved in top 3 later on in the season.
Yeah, he really either wants to find that little bit of extra pace or run 15 laps extra fuel and hope he can fight the cars behind, really. But yeah, I think for Jared, honestly, it wouldn't even surprise me if this whole season, I'll have a look actually at the first 2 results. Obviously, he had that crash at the start of the Australian Grand Prix, but he had a 10th and an 8th so far. I was going to say, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he just had a season of 4th places for Jared. But yeah, after he picked up that 5-second stop-go, he's really going to have to try and focus on bringing the pace back up in the rest of this Grand Prix. Is Ben going to dive into the pits though on the end of this lap? We'll wait and see. He's not really positioned himself that side of the circuit just yet. No, he's going to stay out another lap there. So it's quite a surprise for Ben. Obviously, the undercut on F1 2017 can work out actually quite strong. So maybe Jared could actually find himself getting a bit closer to Ben than he realised. Although he has changed his front wing there.
So what do you think? Do you think the soft tyres that Warden, Ryan and Jared have put on can make it to the end of the race from the position they're in?
Honestly, no, I don't think so actually. I never even considered that. No, they'd be very surprised if they made 18 laps if the Supers only made 8. Obviously, I could be completely wrong. I have been many times so far this series, but yeah, it could actually be. Perhaps this is why Ben's staying out a bit longer. Maybe he's trying to one-stop this, and perhaps they might have to 2. We'll wait and see. Only time will tell.
Oh, we got some angry comments has come through from Fun Guru, who's not happy at his teammate in the first lap incident. So they'll have to talk about it after the race and see what happened about that. But
it was, I think, was it Fun Guru's fault? I can't even remember now.
I think it was a racing incident, but I think Fun Guru maybe should have backed out of it. It's not really a place you would go for an overtake in turn 15.
Especially with your teammate. You know, McLaren, I think, are actually sat bottom of... Yeah, they're sat currently bottom in the constructors' standings as well, though, so certainly not ideal for them. They just need to really try and get their cars inside the top 10, get a few points on the board. They're actually tied still. Renault, Williams and McLaren are all yet to score points, but Ferrari and Mercedes, just 10 points separated them for the first couple of rounds of this season.
Ben's coming in.
They're doing well at the moment. Ben is in. What's he
Ben's
going to go on
coming
to then?
So where are everyone else in comparison? So yeah, Jared's obviously a long way behind because of the front wing change. So Warden's just passed his teammate and sets the fastest lap.
Ben's on a set of softs, so perhaps he's trying. I think from there, Ben, you know, he could potentially get to the end. I'm not really too sure, obviously, with the tyre wear exactly around this circuit, unfortunately. But yeah, I think Ben, if any of them are going to make it to the end, I think it's Ben here. We've got a question in the chat. What's happened to Ryan? He's pit, so he's come out in... Well, he's still behind Warden. They've actually got Master Berserk in between them now, which I'm sure could actually give Warden, a little bit of help here. You know, potentially, have we got Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Räikkönen in this team right now? Are we going to see Master Berserk go to lap 25 and then pit for a set of full wets or something? We'll have to wait and see. Because Ferrari think that's the optimal strategy. Only time will tell once more. Plenty of questions left to be answered in this race.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Ferrari do what they do in real life and, you know, just favour the one driver and just keep the other one holding the other car up. It'll be, we'll have to wait and see, but I think Berserk's going to stay out for another 6 or 7 laps anyway, because he's on the soft tyres.
Perhaps,
so
yeah, he could just be info for Warden.
I'd imagine he would go to about lap 16, lap 17 and then pit for the super soft tyre and go to the end of the race, but I'm sure Warden would like for him to hold Ryan up a little bit, just so he can pull out the extra few tenths or seconds that he may even be able to pull out. But at the moment, he's got, what has he got? Nearly 3 seconds on Ryan? Just over 3 seconds on Ryan. So at the moment, I don't think any challenge from Ryan's going to happen on Warden anytime soon. As HO now pits from the lead, and Warden can resume the lead of the race. But Ryan's got some front wing damage.
Oh, yes, so he has. When did that happen?
That must have just recently happened because I didn't see any damage before the pit stop. So it must have been after the pit stop. So disaster for the championship leader in Baku, suffering damage to his front right end plate, which is the more important of the two end plates, being an anti-clockwise circuit.
That's certainly not his ideal for Ryan here, but yeah, unfortunately for him, that I'm not gonna jinx anything here. I won't say anything on that matter actually, because well, I've got a bit of a reputation now, I think, in the Oceania League there. But yeah, I think Ben, could he close up to his teammate now?
Yes, time will tell. Of course, 2 lap fresher tyres for Tim McMahon. And he's got sorry, that was Ryan I was on board with. So yeah, Ben with no front wing damage. Less than 5 seconds behind. So we got 15.5 laps remaining and just under 5 seconds. And with the damage Ryan has, I'm pretty sure Ben could catch up to that. So he's losing a lot of time at the moment, is Ryan to Warden. The gap is now 3.7 seconds. And do we have any more battles going on? We got HO and Jared for 5th and 6th. Close in. We've got some yellow flags in Sector 2. And I think that was Neon Tree Dome having an issue. No, sorry, it's Death. He's binned it at the castle section. So he's actually the first driver to fully hit the castle wall that I've seen so far in this race. Meanwhile, Team at Monaco is close to 4.5 seconds behind Ryan, so slowly but surely he's closing in on his teammate. And Jared is closing in on HO. He's in the DRS range on the Red Bull driver, so Red Bull against Toro Rosso, so pretty much teammates here. So we'll see if Jared can mount a challenge on HO and get himself up into the top 5.
Yeah, I think trying to look through. There's not. Yeah, again, I think Ryan.
Oh, death.
What's going to happen here? Oh, Death Row's gone. That's both McLaren's
That
outlet.
seemed very intentional. That looked a bit intentional because he had a damaged front wing, and I just caught the end of it.
Could have just ran wide. Yeah, could have just ran wide.
We'll have to see.
Through the corner. Yeah. Unfortunate for him though. That means McLaren, I think, is. I don't know if that's how many times they have actually retired so far this season. I'll have a quick look at the standings. Yeah, none of their cars have made it to the end of any race so far. So clearly, it's not going well for McLaren this season.
Nope. And oh, what's happened there? That was not Death's car not being removed. I thought that was the Ferrari Berserk for a second. Just desynced. So Ryan was DRS on Berserk, 4 turns behind him, but was damaged front wing on his Mercedes.
Oh, Ben
sets the fast lap of the race. So 4 seconds is the margin between theoretically second and third, but the real second and third battle is between the Ferrari and the Mercedes driver.
Alright, we'll have a look through then. We got DRC Jared as well. He's within a second of HO. So that could be a good little battle to get on board one as well. As Ruthenic Bird. I've probably horrifically butchered that name there, but I'll say it with confidence. And I think, yeah, I don't know if was he at China last weekend, or is this his debut race in AOR Oceania?
Who's this, sorry?
I'll be having a bit. Ruthenic Bird.
I think last week was his first race. I'm not sure about that. Actually, I might have to have a quick look about that and I'll confirm that to you in a second.
It was
but,
DNF'd.
Ryan is still behind Berserk here, and I don't know about you, but does it look like any slipstream is working? Because Ryan's just not closing in at all on the straights.
I think, to be honest, Ryan's problem here is he obviously can't stay fully committed through this section that we're coming through now, which means, well, yeah, see, look, he just has to bail out the throttle ever so starting there, and obviously there might not be fully working slipstream there, but I think, yeah, Ryan he has to dip out the throttle at the one moment where he needs to get on it absolutely fully, and he just cannot. He is gaining ever so slightly, but yeah, he just cannot gain enough to Master Berserk at the moment. I don't think, yeah, Master Berserk is actively trying to hold him up at this stage of the race.
Ooh, we got some more issues in the Twitter chat between Death and Fun Guru. The two teammates just don't seem happy with each other after their first lap incident. But because of Ryan's issues, Ben has closed to 2.1 seconds off his teammate. So do you think when Ben does indeed catch Ryan, which it looks like he is and will, do you think Ryan will let him go, or do you think Ryan will fight it?
Well, we've already seen what happens when teammates try to fight around here, and well, it's resulted in both of them so far retiring there. As Ryan, very close to the back of Master Berserk. I don't know what it is, and obviously I'm not personally a pad player either, but whenever I watch the pad go through turn 8, my heart seems to skip a beat there, because just that weird sort of lack of precision with it, I honestly have got so much respect for all the guys that someone can thread the needle through their lap after lap on the controller. But yeah, anyway, so back to the question. Yes, I think he'll let him through. In all honesty, I think for Ryan at this stage of the season, there is no point in holding him up. He's still got a 20-point lead over Warden. He'll lose 10 of those, but that'll still give him a 10 in the pocket. Obviously, touch wood. Hopefully I haven't just ruined his race there, as he's actually getting very, very close to the back of Master Berserk. But yeah, I don't think Ryan will hold him up. There's just no real point, and especially, you know, these guys need to maintain good chemistry throughout the rest of the season. If he does Ben the favour now, then Ben can look back, say, round 8, round 9, and think, you know what, you let me through there, I'll let you through here. They need to work as a team, ultimately, because Ferrari are very, very close still in the drivers' standings. As unfortunately, we've appeared to lose you there, as Brock does stuff.
I'm back. I am back.
Out of the way. You are back. Good, good. Panic over.
Straight back in. Luckily, we changed the lobby settings so I can come straight back in now.
That's positively reassuring. You know, it's always nice to keep you watching the action with me. As Ryan now is pretty much pushing Master Berserk through this second sector here. What's he going to be able to do? All over the back of the Ferrari, but Ben is just closing in leaps and bounds to the pair of them here. Having a look, actually, Ben over the last couple of laps has actually taken a second out of Warden as well. Oh, we got yellow flags. What's that about? Who is that? And oh no, it's gone now. No ring. It's all good.
It's still there. Not sure where though.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd one. Perhaps we're getting a competition caution, maybe.
That'd be nice. We saw what happened in China in the F1 race with a safety car mid-race.
Oh, Ryan's closing up to Master Berserk. No, he's just not closing up enough though. What? Oh, this is... Oh, I can't imagine what it's like for Ryan at the moment. He must be so frustrated with this, because he just cannot close up enough to the Ferrari. This is about the point as well where we said Master Berserk was probably going to pit. But yeah, Ryan, he just can't get close enough at the moment, and whilst all this is going on, Ben, he's getting...
He's let his teammate.
Oh yeah, Ryan. He does let him through. So I don't know if he's just going to let Ben through. Yeah, Ben gives him a little bit of a weave saying thank you there. So clearly the Mercedes are working together at this stage of the season. Nice to see from the pair, and I don't think Toto Wolff will be slamming his desk after that one. I think that was probably the best thing for the team there.
Yeah, I reckon, of course, the front wing damage will be hurting, but I believe slipstream might also be down due to drivers leaving the lobby. So it wouldn't
Brock
be
does stuff getting out of the way sensibly there.
Yep, good stuff there from Brock getting out of the way well before the corner.
Let's get stay on board then with Ben for a little bit. You know, I know a lot of people quite a fan of this fairly unheard of guy in the AOR Oceania leagues, but he's now all over the back of Master Berserk, and already he seems to be closing up a lot more than Ryan was ever able to. So could he get the jump on Master Berserk this lap? We'll have to wait and see. Master Berserk attacking those curbs in that Ferrari car there, and now down in towards the final sector. What is he going to be able to do there? Yeah, I think Ryan at number 2 driver, I think that is well and truly confirmed now. He's only got twice the points of his teammate there. But yeah, Ben able to take that corner flat out on towards the long front straight, already over 200 miles an hour. At what speed is he going to be able to get up to? Master Berserk does not decide to die. Oh no, he does. That's a bit late to be committing to that. I know in real life you've got to actually be over the white line before you come into the pits there, but luckily nothing too much from that bend, and he runs wide in towards T1 there. But yeah, Master Berserk now in the pits, up 12 places so far in this Grand Prix, but I'm sure that's going to go back down a bit more. And now Ben has a 6.5 second gap he needs to try and close up to Warden if he does want to win this race. Just under a second a lap.
Yep, and what have his lap times been like recently compared to Warden? Is he catching him when he was in clean air?
Yeah, he is at the moment.
Yep.
Warden is still yet to get a warning in this race. Ben has got one, Ryan has got one, HO has got none, Jared has got a penalty and a warning. I think that, yeah, that was in the pits though. So yeah, penalties really aren't going in his place.
So let's see where Berserk can get himself back up. He's come in 6th place, but on a fresh set of super soft tyres. So he's 11 seconds off Jared. Do you reckon he can catch up to that battle between 4th and 5th with HO and Jared?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think ultimately he should be able to just about get up towards these two. Yeah, I think he's having a strong race so far. Obviously he had that little bit of an issue in qualifying right at the very start, but since then the consistency has been there with that Ferrari. I think he probably learnt his lesson really at the best stage of the weekend that he could, to be honest. Albeit it was right at the start of qualifying, and perhaps he would have preferred to do it right at the end, you know, with a couple of laps on the board. But he still had a pretty damn solid race so far. And I think Master was like, well, we spoke about Jared earlier on in this race. I think Master was like, is probably one of the guys, him and HO, yeah, probably two of the guys that really are probably closest on raw pace to DRC Jared. But yeah, I think I reckon we could see quite a close little fight between those two right towards the end.
Indeed,
Having a look
hopefully.
though, Warden has got a lot more spare fuel than Ben at this stage. He's got about a lap extra of spare fuel there, so potentially could see Warden, you know, just push that gap back up a little bit, you know, go, yeah, you're not really closing up to me, mate. Potentially, yeah, just pull it out a little bit more.
Meanwhile, for the last points paying position, we've got a battle with Poms and Fevelation. They're just 2 tenths apart as Poms and Fevelation head onto the very long full throttle run towards the line. You'd expect Poms, with the keyboard warrior turn-ins that he's been doing, to eventually get past Fevelation. He's on much fresher tyres compared to Fevelation's mediums, which I believe he put on very early in his Grand Prix. So let's see if Poms goes to a medium.
Oh, that's a late one.
He does.
What a fantastic move! I thought he completely outbrew. Fantastic job there,
Poms.
yeah.
And up into
Neon
the
Trio.
final points paying position. Yep. And Poms' teammate Neon Trio has also gotten past Fevelation. So 2 Force India drivers doing well there, up into 10th and 11th place. Let's see if these two drivers can have a battle between now and the second flag as Poms has hit the wall slightly at turn 3 in the exit. I don't think it's caused
Don't think he's got front wing damage. Yeah, I think it was just wheel to barrier contact there. But yeah, the hype energy cars making moves up into the points.
The hype energy, all about the AOR hype for this season, and these two drivers are putting their utmost skill to the test at the moment, trying to battle for, albeit 10th position, but it's the last points paying position, and you want to have bragging rights at Force India if you're Neon or Poms.
Someone's just been asking about pit stops. The top 9 have all made 1. Poms and Neon Trio have made 2. Fevolution has made 1. Chimchar, Brock, and, well, obviously Funkaroo is disconnected from the race, have all made 3. So, yeah, Poms and Trio, you know, they're going to be quick towards the end of this race. He could close up to Drop Bear as well. Potentially Ruthenic Bird. So, could we see a little bit of a, you know, hype energy Force India climb back through the field at this stage of the race? It's so brilliant, I must say, watching Alex come through that final flat out chicane. Just the steering lock on that Force India is incredible.
You see more people doing, most people doing one turn one way, one turn the other way. Poms does about 10 turns for the first part and about 15 for the second part. It's crazy the amount of actions he does on that wheel. But we got Jared and HO. Jared's closed right back up to HO now. It's half a second between the two of them. And HO has a little bit more fuel at the moment than what Jared does. Jared's in the negatives and having seats a bit more lean. And behind them, obviously, Berserk is catching them very, very quickly indeed. The gap is down to 6.5 seconds between Berserk and Jared. It was 11 when Berserk came out of the pits.
Yeah, fantastic job by them at this stage of the race. We've just got someone in chat saying as well, we've got over 500 viewers in the stream at the moment. So obviously, if you aren't already subscribed to the AOR channel, make sure you do as well. There's plenty more racing action coming over the course of today as well. Obviously, it's every single week. Well, for as long as we possibly can go on. But yeah, certainly, you know, thank you all so much for the support so far this stream. And obviously, if you aren't already, yeah, make sure you click subscribe, because these last 6 laps, I think we're going to have quite a few battles up and down the field here. And this is certainly one you don't want to miss out on. Alex and Neon Trio now all over the back of a drop there. Are we going to see more Force India moves working as a team? We'll have to wait and see. There is it's almost like an anonymous duo closing up on the poor Haas. Almost a pack of pink peppers. They're closing up on the poor little Haas car there as they come now down on towards that 21 of this race. Do the Force Indias, do the Pink Panthers work together? We shall have to wait and see. But yeah, I think Alex, we could see Force India scoring more points in this race. Currently in the drivers' standings, Alex has actually finished both races in the top 10. He's had a 9th and a 10th so far, as well as Neon Trino has had a... Where is Neon Trino,
Pom's
actually?
gone for
He's
it.
in 6th. Oh, yellow look, yeah. Neon Trino as well is currently up in 6th overall with a 5th and a 6th place. Oh, very, very close between the Alex and the Haas car there. Down towards the outside. Oh, this would be a good move if he can make it work.
Around the outside.
Oh, yes, he does. Oh, squeeze him into
Great
the wall
move.
as well.
And
That'll
his
let his
teammate.
teammate through. Touring car style, yeah, bump and run there. Just, you know, squeeze him out wide, go for it. I think,
Pom's
yeah,
been the
fantastic move by
bulldozer
Alex.
for him. Pom's been the bulldozer at the moment for Neon Trino. Just, you know, bulldozing one car out of the way and Neon skating his way through. So, great effort.
Oh, we've got-
Someone asked in the chat. Oh, go on.
Yeah, if anyone is using control. Yeah, I was just having a look at the same question. If anyone is using controllers in this league, Warden uses a controller, Ryan uses a controller, the 2 fastest guys in this series. So those that say, you know, F1 is pay to win, not the case. You can certainly, well, as we've seen by these guys, these 2 are, well, so many guys are ferociously quick on the controller there. And I think, obviously, we spoke about Alex and his, well, back it was about a 20 corner track, and well, he turns it into about 150 corner track with the amount of steering inputs he likes to make. Obviously, he uses the controller as well, and I think quite a few other people do, really, in this series.
Shout out to H_Pro1 for a £2 donation. Well done, mate. Thanks for that. We appreciate it. Another question I saw in the chat. Someone asked, what are the possibilities of Ryan and Warden getting a puncture? They're on the limit. They'll be on the limit. They pitted on lap 7 of this race, was it? Lap 7 for the soft tyres. So
8, I think.
or was it lap 8? Lap 8 for the soft tyres. So doing 18 laps on the soft tyres around this track is going to be a real challenge for them. But obviously they've done league races here before. They would know what the tyres are like. So I'd imagine that would be fine. But we'll have to wait and see if they can make it to the end of the race. Ben, I'm pretty certain can make it to the end quite comfortably.
But yeah, we've still got a few more laps to go. Oh, what is that? DLC Jared down in towards turn 1 there. I don't know. Well, that's certainly, yeah, he deserved that 5-second stop-go penalty. I don't know if he missed his braking point there and towards T1 there, but has completely taken himself and HO out of this Grand Prix. I think HO's just about got himself back on to the track there. Somehow just about avoided the wall there, but that's given Masters up P4 in this Grand Prix there. But yeah, no idea what happened there between Jared and HO there. But yeah, that certainly was not a pretty sight between the pair of them there. Yeah, not too sure. But after that, I'm sure HO will be taking that one to the stewards, because that was, well, I think it was the Flying Finn back in season 12. I completely missed his braking point there, and I think took Tierra Limitless out of the race as well there. So it's obviously a lot of the, yeah, no one obviously uses racing line in this league as well there. So obviously mistakes are made. Yeah, but I think HO yeah, got a little bit lucky that he came out there with no front wing, with a full front wing even. But yeah, we now got Ferrari 1 and 4, Mercedes 2 and 3. What would that do in terms of the points? They'd close up 4 points on Mercedes there, which would bring the gap back down to 5 between the two teams there. So are we seeing the F1 2018 season in AOR Oceania? It's looking more and more like it in the early stages of...
Well, we said that at the start of the season, of course, with Ryan and Warden, with Ryan and Ben being at Mercedes. So I'm used to Ryan and Warden being teammates, getting mixed up. But yeah, Ryan and Ben being at Mercedes and Warden and Berserk being at Ferrari. We said at the start of the season it'll be between these two teams for the Constructors' Championship, and as you said, it's looking like that at this moment, with all 4 of them running in the top 4 of this race. But credit has to go to Berserk, you know, starting last and making his way back up into 4th, albeit with a little bit of help from Jared and HO's incident. But still, great drive from the Ferrari man to come from last to 4th.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job this race. And I think, yeah, Jared is taking his 5-second stop go there as well as a new front wing. So he'll drop way down the order there. And well, I've done it once again, haven't I? I've got a jinxed another poor driver in this series there. Jared, I promise from now, buddy, I will not mention you in the streams if that's what it takes. But yeah, it seems to be settling down in the top 3, but it's certainly getting more and more spicy behind them. We've got Poms and Trido now 6 seconds behind Ruth Bird here, who's also actually on a set of the super soft tyres, so maybe they might struggle to close that one up. But we've got Drop Bear. He laps Brock does stuff. Brock really, yeah, he hasn't had the best. Oh, he's lost all his front wing again there. So yeah, Brock certainly not having the best race in the world.
Yeah, unfortunately for Brocky, obviously he got caught up in the incident on the first lap, I think, with the 2 McLarens, which caused him to have some front wing damage. I'm not sure if he pitted on the first lap, but unfortunate race for him. What else do we have going on? No real tight battles at the moment. Feels a bit spread out. Warden's opened the margin out to 8.3 seconds on Ben. So it looks like whatever charge Ben had early on has faded completely away. The only chance he would have of victory is if Warden gets a puncture.
Yeah, so Warden. So let's put this theory in our head then. Warden, he gets a puncture coming out of the final sort of proper corner around this circuit. They're side by side to the line. What do we reckon the chat? Who do we reckon the chat's going to be favouring in that position? On the whole.
No, it'd have to be favouring Ben. If we're being real here, that'll all be favouring Ben.
But he's still got 3 laps to go of this race. Oh, yellow flags in sector 3. What is that all about? Oh, Brock. I think he's missed the pit lane there. Trying to get back into the pits, Brock. Because yeah, he's missed the pits. So well, he's going to be going out for another lap with next to no front wing. Oh, I think he's parking it up. I think that is one too many frustrations for Brock does stuff there, and yeah, he will just about get the 90% rule in there as well. But yeah, unfortunately that is Brock. He's out of this race in the end there. 2 laps to go of this race. Warden now on to lap 25, but he's got an 8.5 second lead over Ben at this late stage of the race there. And I want to talk about how well he's done this race, but I also don't want to jinx it. That's how worried I'm getting about what I say in this series. I'll talk about it once we get over the line.
Well, he can afford to back off. I'm looking at him right now. He's using rich revs through the corners as well. So obviously he's comfortable with his tyre situation. So I don't think Warden's going to be having any issues with his tyres at the end of the race. And let's see, we've got Jared and Neon battling out here for 9th and 10th place. Jared, of course, on the much fresher tyres that he put on 2 laps ago. So the Toro Rosso driver with Slipstream and DRS and rich revs against Neon.
He has got a 5-second penalty.
A dive. He did pit, remember, so he may have served it in his pit stop. And
no, he got another one with H-Show, I think.
Jared has lost a bit of front wing again, so not a good day for Jared at all. We've got some yellow flags in sector 2 going on. Don't know what that's for. But Jared and Neon still side by side into turn 3, and Jared makes his way back up into 9th.
Yeah, well, unfortunate for Jared. Obviously, this race really seemed to have gone a lot better up until recently there. But yeah, he's still going to bring up a couple of points for that Toro Rosso team, and it's just now, I think, for him trying to get some consistency. In towards the next few rounds. Got a question from John. What was the pole time? It was a 1 minute 39.909. But Warden, well, it was by this man Warden in the Ferraris. He's now on the final lap of this Grand Prix, and yeah, he's done fantastically so far in this race. But yeah, only 2 more sectors to go. But I'm still worried. I'll jinx this for him. I'm sorry, James. It's just I'm worried. I'm worried now. Breaking into a sweat before Warden.
Well, he had 1 lap in qualifying to set his pole time. He went out with 5 minutes to go on the soft tyre, and he brushed the wall right there at the castle section. and that just ruined his lap. And he had to come into the pits, and he just made it with about 20 seconds to go over the line to start his final lap in qualifying, his only lap in qualifying, and he put it on pole by 0.02 of a second over New Zealand Ryan. But it's going to be a good result for Warden, clawing back 10 valuable points over Ryan in the championship, and he makes his way down the not so straight, full throttle. It'll be Warden claiming his first victory of the season in a few moments' time. He gets DRS for good measure on Revelation, but it's Warden who comes across the line to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. A clinical drive from Warden, domination from start to finish. Tira Mala comes across to finish second ahead of his teammate New Zealand Ryan, who battled front wing issues the entire race, or the entire second half of the race. Master Berserk should come home to finish fourth, and we'll go back and have a look at the battle between 8th and 9th with Jared and Poms. So that's closed right up to 0.3 of a second. Berserk crosses the line in fourth. HO should cross the line in fifth, ahead of Jetson and Ruthink Bird. But it's Poms and Jared, the main battle going on at the moment. There's some traffic ahead of Poms, and Poms has lost some front wing, and that's Ruthink Bird, sorry. So there's a three-way battle for 7th place going on here. Who's going to get what? As we make the long charge down towards the line, they've all got rich revs going on. And Bird has had a big slide. Big slide. Both Poms and Jared get past, but can Jared claw his way past Poms and get 7th place? No, he can't. Poms takes 7th, Jared takes 8th, and Ruthnik Bird in 9th, with Neon taking the final points paying position, and Drop Bear and Revelation still yet to complete the final lap. But Matt, geez, that was an incredible last lap. Wasn't for the lead, but still great battle for 7th, 8th and 9th.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure what happened to Ruthenic Bird there at the end. It seemed like a very, I don't know if he just clipped the outside wall and I just didn't really sort of see it on my hit detection. But yeah, unfortunately for him, well, to be honest, it was lucky for him to be able to keep it all together, because that's still his first points of the season. But yeah, obviously, if you do want to get involved in this incredible race, the links are in the chat right now. But yeah, that got tight towards the end. I think we can safely agree.
I thought Ruthnik Bird hadn't covered it, because when I last looked, he had well over a second on Poms, so maybe he did make a mistake, or his tyres just went away. But first victory of the season for Warden, and will it be the start of many more to come? He clawed back 10 points in the title race. It's now just 7 points between Warden and New Zealand Ryan. Mercedes double podium yet again, but again it's the Ferrari that beat them, as has been the case in real life this season. So there are the results. Only a couple drivers picking up penalties this race, so great job to them. But Matt, once again, thank you for commentating. Thank you once again to Harry for providing everyone the stream, and thank you to everyone for watching. Tune in at 8 PM UK time for the European leagues for round 3 at Baku. I'm sure it'll be a good race to watch if you're not competing. But I'm Grigmaster99, and until next week in Bahrain, goodbye.
I'm feeling so lost in my mind. Pieces coming out, pieces coming out. Now that I am cursed, it's alright. 'Cause I know how you felt, I know how you felt. I'm feeling so lost in my mind. Pieces coming out, pieces coming out. Now that I am cursed, it's alright. 'Cause I know how you felt, 'cause I know how you felt. Fall in love with you again. So listen and believe me, cause I have fucking tried. I'm feeling so lost in my mind. Please just coming out, please just coming out. Now that I am cursed, it's alright. Cause I know how you felt, I know how you felt. I'm feeling so lost in my mind. Please just coming out, please just coming out. Now that I am cursed, it's alright. Cause I know how you felt, cause I know how you felt. One step in the right direction, 2 steps back. Lucky all you want is perfection, won't happen. 1 step in the right direction, that's my bad. Lucky all you want is perfection.